Cheating is being physically or emotionally unfaithful to your partner in a monogamous relationship. That is when both of you have decided that I'm going to stick with you alone. But then the other one starts being unfaithful, starts cheating on the other, either physically, emotionally, online, financially. And so when you are in a relationship, sometimes it is normal for you to look at some things that your partner is doing and to be thinking about, is this person cheating? But then you also sit down and then you ask yourself, oh, I'm just being paranoid, I'm just misinterpreting the signs, or really actually he's cheating. In fact, when someone is cheating and you are vigilant and you are so close to your partner, there are a few things that a person will do that will either tell you or confirm to you that he's cheating, or will tell you that no, this one is not cheating. So in this video, I'll just be giving you some signs that might show that he's cheating. If you're interested, kindly stick with me. Let's do this. Hello beautiful people, I welcome you back to my channel. This is Eke Nyami and this is my YouTube channel, and I'm so excited you are here with me. So let's get right into it. The first sign that might show that he's cheating is when there is drastic change in communication. My dear, yes, in life sometimes we all get busy, sometimes we forget to even check out on our partner, sometimes work happens, family happens, other relationships happen, but then this is a person that you used to communicate with. This is the person who used to check up on you almost every day. This is a person who brings up conversations for you to talk about. And then all of a sudden, if you are with a partner and then something distracts him, work happens, but you have no idea of any urgent work that has come up. You have no idea of what is going on in his life. And then all of a sudden, there's a drastic change in his communication with you. All of a sudden, he's too busy. All of a sudden, he's always on his phone. All of a sudden, he spends minutes in the bathroom. All of a sudden, he's giving you excuses why he cannot communicate with you. My dear, I think this is a cause for alarm. This might show that he's cheating. The second thing is that he shows lack of interest in you. Yes, as I said, there are moments that life happens. When relationships begin during the honeymoon stage, we are so clingy to each other. We so much show interest in each other. But then when the relationship proceeds, sometimes the interest comes down small. But when it is no more, when it reduces drastically, when the person doesn't show any form of interest in anything that you do, when the person doesn't even care, like it seems like he doesn't really care, that he's so much distracted with other things, my dear, this might be a sign of him cheating or a sign of infidelity. The next thing is that there must be a sudden change in his routine. You see, everybody has a particular routine, maybe from work to church to home to school to hang out with friends and then all those things. And when you are going out with someone, you know the person's routine. When there is changes in the routine, you might know the reason why. But when all of a sudden there's a drastic change in the routine and he's not where he says he will be, and then he doesn't care to explain to you why he's supposed to be at this place and he's not, and then all these things, I think that it is a cause for alarm. Normally when it starts happening, you really don't pay attention to them. But when it continues consistently, I think that is where you have to start thinking about it and start to see if you would have to address the issue. But when there's a drastic change in the person's routine and the person doesn't see how necessary it is or doesn't see the importance of him explaining to you, I think that you would really have to be concerned. Then the next thing is that he becomes more critical of you. Yes, everybody has his or her weaknesses. Everybody has things that a partner will say, oh, if you work on this, I'll be glad. If you do this instead, I'll be glad. But then when he starts being so critical of the things that were not bothering him in the first place, this is when he starts comparing you to the other lady, because you cannot compare one thing. And so if he's so focused on you, if there are things that he used to do that he wasn't really complaining about, but all of a sudden he's complaining about this, he's so critical of you, my dear, the probability that he sees someone else or he's thinking of cheating with someone else is very high, and then he becomes emotionally distant. This warning sign can sometimes be subjective to interpret because it depends on you as an individual. But when you are going out with someone, you know the person, you know how both of you vibe, then all of a sudden your emotional tank is empty. He doesn't really care. Things that you guys used to do to make you emotionally intimate, he's not. His attention has actually been divided. If something like this happened, my dear, I think it's a cause of alarm, because as humans, especially as women, One thing that we have is intuition. Yes, sometimes if care is not taken, you might misinterpret your intuition. But my dear, when you have that feeling, when you feel that your partner is distancing himself emotionally, sweetheart, please don't sweep it under the carpet and pretend it's nothing. It needs to be addressed. And then he stopped inviting you as he used to do. He doesn't invite you very often. This is someone who would, oh, come around, I miss you, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. And all of a sudden, when even you make the initiative, when even you make the attempt, oh babe, this weekend I want to come and visit. Oh, don't come. Oh, this weekend I want us to, oh no, I'm busy. Oh, he reduces the number of times you guys spend together, and he reduces the number of times he used to invite you. And then the next thing is that he becomes very secretive. This is when he tells you, this is my phone, don't pick it. Babes, where are you? Don't worry, I'm fine. He has all of a sudden become very secretive. This is a person who used to tell you everywhere that he goes and everything that he does. And then all of a sudden, he becomes vague about his schedule. He becomes vague about his interactions with other people outside your relationship, such as friends and co-workers. And when even you try to find out, he tries to restrict you. He tries to give you so much restrictions, like I got someone was speaking to me and he said her boyfriend has even blocked her on all social media platforms. Her boyfriend posts status and then he blocks her from seeing. Like, he has become so secretive, my dear. If it was not that way during the start of the relationship, and all of a sudden it has started being that way, I think that this is a cause for alarm. Some potential warning signs might include sending or receiving messages at all times, giving vague answers or dodging the question when you ask him who is messaging, keeping a secondary phone, tablet, or laptop. I know someone who has a small phone in his car. So when he's coming home, he comes with his normal phone, but in his car, under his car seat, there's a secret phone he's keeping. He's taking great care to hide his screen when you are around. And when even you are around and he's checking something on the phone, he really wants to hide it from you. He's browsing and dating on hookup sites, my dear, hiding financial transactions from you. This is when he becomes so secretive with some of these things. I think that these are potential warning signs that you should really pay attention to. Then he becomes unreachable. You are not able to get him on phone. You call him and he's not picking. You call him, it's not going through. You call him, his call waiting. You call him, his user busy. He's actually unreachable. And you ask him, like, he comes back and then you ask him, and he's not able to give you any tangible reason to tell you that I was here, I was doing this, or I was doing that. He all of a sudden becomes unreachable. I think this is a cause for alarm. Another point I have here is he doesn't like questions. People typically share details of their day, what happened, their personal struggles with their partners, and it is normal to tell your partner where you are and what you are doing. But when your boyfriend starts to disclose less and less, he may be sharing with another person instead. And when you try to ask him questions, he will try to blame you and ask you, why do you ask a lot of questions? Why are you doing that, my dear? Please don't take this for granted. And then his phone habit suddenly changes. When you are in a committed and honest relationship, many partners know the passwords to their partner's phone. But when you know the password to his phone, if it is not like that from the start of the relationship, then that is okay. But when from the start you know his password, he knows your password, nothing has happened, nothing changes, and then all of a sudden he decides to change his password, and he decides to tell you that don't pick my calls. He decides to tell you that, like, he starts giving you restrictions. His phone habits all of a sudden changes, my dear. You call him late in the night and he's call waiting. Like, and you ask him, who are you talking to? And he's like, no, please. You cannot tell me that there's no cause for alarm. You cannot tell me that don't worry. Now, I'm worried because that is not how we started. This is not what we used to do. And then now he's out with his friends more often. You know his friends. You know when they go out, but all of a sudden, I'm going to this person, I'm going here, I'm going here. And when you try to, okay, I want to go with you. No, don't worry. When you try, when you get there, let me talk to this your friend. Then he starts giving you excuses. He's all of a sudden always out with his friends. When you know that that is not how your boyfriend is, my dear. Then the next thing is that his excuses don't add up. He makes up excuses for why he cannot do something for you, where he is, who he's with. And the story normally changes from time to time and they don't make sense. When a person is being honest, my dear, their story is always the same. If he's lying to you, he will have a hard time remembering what he said initially. And he may say different things when trying to explain himself. And when you know that when you say one lie, you would have to tell 7 lies to cover up for the first lie that you told. And the more you question him, the more he's likely to gaslight you. And then he'll be saying, why you be nosy? Why are you asking too much questions? Why are you Meanwhile, these explanations that you are giving, it's not adding up. You told me a different thing yesterday. Today we are talking about the same thing and you are saying a different thing. And you want me to relax and believe you, and like how? I love you. And so when you do something like this, I would really be concerned and I'll be asking questions. And then this person will start gaslighting you, making you feel as if you are being insensitive, you are being unreasonable, like whatever that you are saying, there's no sense in it, my dear. And then he gets angry or defensive more easily. Things that he's not supposed to get angry about, he start getting angry. Cheating partner can exhibit anger and defensive behavior when they feel guilty about committing an infidelity, which can sometimes cause them to overreact similarly to, in fact, simple small questions. An unfaithful boyfriend might also try to lessen his guilt over cheating by placing more emphasis on problems in the relationship to convince himself that it's not his fault, my dear. And things that he used to not get angry about. I know someone who said, my boyfriend got angry when I told him I miss you. Like, how? Like, why? Yes, I know that sometimes there are other issues happening and you might bring some of those issues into your relationship. But when this thing becomes consistent, when it becomes like, now that is the norm. Everything that I say, everything that I say, you get angry. Everything that I say, you get defensive. Sweetheart, please open your eye, shine your ear. Okay. Then another thing is that he'll start exhibiting suspicious and controlling behavior. In other cases, a partner who is cheating may act as though they suspect you of being unfaithful, which could be a projection of themselves. They might also be deliberately attempting to deflect suspicion by putting you on the defensive. And so they will normally start by accusing you of apparently cheating, demanding details of information about where you are, attempting to track you electronically, monitoring your online behavior so closely, insisting on checking in wherever you are, my dear. They are just projecting their insecurities on you. What that thing that they are doing, they are afraid that you are doing something. And when you first said they kind of say, a traminobias through I. So, because when you lie this way, he wants to cut your head. He also doesn't want to lie that way because he knows that when he lies that way, you might also cut his head. Because he's cheating, he's thinking that you are doing the same thing. And so he becomes all of a sudden insecure, be checking up on you like every minute. Most of the times too, they want to call you so that you will not call them because they know that they've already spoken with you and they can make time to speak with the other lady, my dear. I'm just drawing your attention. Oh, I'm not telling you to go and be so paranoid. I am just drawing your attention. So now, all these points, most of them are in your relationship, and you are concerned that your boyfriend is cheating. What then do you do? I'll say that right. Think and plan. Before you start a conversation with your boyfriend, take time, write everything down. It's maybe on your phone. Experiences that you've had with him, things that you've noticed over time, why you think he's cheating, and then you sit down and think about it. Think about it deeply, ask yourself questions, and then plan on how best you are going to address this thing, and then make time to talk to him. You can continue to gather more evidence. I'm not saying that you should go and be stalking him, going through his phone and all those things, but then if you can have a healthier approach to gather your evidence and then sit down and talk to him. These are some things that you need to consider when you decide to have that conversation with him. Ask when is a good time for both of you to speak about things that are bothering you, and then make a list of the issues that might come up for you. Limit the conversation to maybe a particular number of minutes, and then take turns sharing how you feel, and then tell him your perspective. Please don't interrupt when he's talking, and then try as much as possible to manage your feelings, and then discuss whether maybe when you give yourself a break or maybe when he needs a time will be best for you. And then please, when you are having that conversation, try as much as possible to put your phone aside or put the computer off or put the TV off so that you guys can have that mature conversation. Please don't go and be emotional or don't go and cry. You just want facts. You just want to have a healthy mutual conversation. And if after having this conversation, you confirm that he's cheating and you are confused, you don't know what to do. I've already done a video about he cheated but you love him. I think you need to go and watch that video. after this particular one. I'll put the link in this bio. I really hope that he's not cheating, but if it happens that way, I think that you need to talk about it and you need to address it and you need to make a decision. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Please give me every question that you have in the comment section. And if there is any sign that you think I should have said that I didn't see, please don't forget to put it in the comment section for me. Thank you once again. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. Now, definitely see you in the next video.